Just fill in the blanks. Anything works. Let's say I act in a certain way that assumes that I'm a certain person. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Does that make sense? Let's say my persona is in a certain way where
one of these times I'm gonna say
it, douchebag, okay?
And it's gonna be like on the same time.
I had to say this guy is hilarious, but his content is just, you know, being an asshole and a douchebag. Am I going to retreat to some sort of moral high ground and you know bash this person? No, I'm going to laugh.
This is when
at
they still live together.
Because it's a fair.
Is that you're upset that there are basically booby streamers that are booby streamers, but they pretend like they're not actually booby streamers, and then when you call them out on being booby streamers, they say, "Well, you're being sexist. That's not fair." Is that what you're essentially?
Yes.
He has been preaching that since as long as I've listen. If that clip is from if this is from 2017, he has been preaching this since he got onto Raj's show. You remember that? Do you guys remember? He used to say that shit all the time. He used to be like, you know what you girls are doing. But like he couldn't say those words because he'd get banned again. He would preach that shit forever. He always said that. He was like, it's one thing if you do it, but at least admit to it. And the girls would always be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just wearing my clothes that I would normally wear. Like, no big deal. Like, so I know exactly what he's talking about. Like, he's been preaching this for so long.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is this whole thing is literally nothing that's been turned into something because people couldn't take the criticism of what they're doing.
Yeah, but you said it in a harsh way.
For that, but yeah. That's why I want. But see, he assumed that I meant something else. That's what I'm clarifying.
Yeah, so you're saying people clip things out of context and judge you for that.
He's a hypocrite,
and that's why you're upset.
No, I'm saying people that clip. Listen, if I
He's a hypocrite though, because he would call over chicks from Tinder and use them for views, just saying, before the change in TOS. Yeah, but that's not being a hypocrite. Being a hypocrite. No. He's not being a hypocrite at all. That's not being hypocritical. Like, he literally just wanted women to just be open and honest with the fact of they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Like, that was his problem. Like, he wanted them to admit that, yes, they acknowledge what they're doing and why they're doing it. And they wouldn't. Him bringing over Tinder girls to his house is completely different because he knows what he's doing and people know he's doing it too. And like, you know what I mean? Like, that's two totally different things. It is. Yeah, no, that's not hypocritical at all.
Stop did that.
Mm-hmm. They do know what they're doing, but they don't admit it. They don't admit it. That was his problem, was the fact that like all the girls would like say no or be like, or instead of admitting that they were doing it, or instead of lying and saying no, they're not, they would turn it around and go in defense mode and be like, well, you're sexist. Like, they would just make it immediately deflect off of them and go back to the person. I mean, it was a pretty that was a sick move. Like, mentally, like, to think, be like, wait, I'm being attacked, I'm being pinned, they're gonna figure me out, I need to turn this around. Let's take this whole thing and throw it back at that person. Like, holy fuck. Like, that takes a lot of, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like any person would just admit it or be like, nah, it's not what I do. But like, they would go to the point of, you're being sexist. Like, if you think you're gonna come at me, I'm gonna make sure you get in trouble. You know, like, that's what these girls were doing. Like, clearly, like, it happened to him like a couple times.
Listen here that.
Okay.
He told that one porn star girl or whatever on Raj's that he respected her for being open about the fact that she called herself a titty streamer. Yeah, exactly. He appreciates girls that would willingly admit it. Yeah.
Okay, so the problem is that when you have these types of conversations, the reason why it's difficult to have these types of conversations is it seems like people are bringing.
Okay, go ahead.
It seems like people are bringing these hidden motivations to the table. So let me give you an example, okay? Let's say that you guys have, let's say that a black friend comes over and he steals something from your house, okay? And you've got a friend who, your roommate or whatever, and your roommate says something like, okay, well, I don't want your friend coming over here anymore because he stole shit, right? If your roommate said that, you wouldn't think twice. You'd be like, okay, well, he stole shit. You don't want him coming over here anymore. That's totally fair. Whatever. And then you're done. You move on with it, right? Now, let's say that you repeat the same thing, and instead, your roommate says something like, this is why I don't want him at the house. I told you that black people are like this. You fucking stole shit just like I thought. I don't want him over here anymore. Well, he's kind of saying the same thing, but there's a lot more behind it now, right? Now it's like, okay, this isn't just about him stealing shit. You, like, are racist as fuck, right? There's that additional weight is being carried by what he's saying. Does that make sense? How those two statements are carry like very different meanings?
Way different meanings.
Yes,
it's obvious.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
So I think the problem is that like I think it's a. Or go ahead.
The difference is, in my opinion, is that blank people steal.
I just feel like immediately people are like, why do they have to use? Why does his examples always have to include black people? Like that's not the point. That's not the point that we're getting at. Is he getting his point across by using those examples? I mean, obviously it's working, but it's not necessarily, that doesn't mean anything. He's just using those examples because he knows that those are the ones that work. It doesn't mean that it's true. Yeah, I forgot what her name is too, Malika. I'm trying to think of it too, but I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about. She's really, really pretty, but I cannot think of her name.
Or known for stealing. The friend said that blank people are known for stealing, correct?
Yeah.
His obsession with the topic makes him sexist. It's not that he's sexist, and the only reason why he's obsessed with it is because he got in trouble for it. I mean, fuck, the reason why I got in trouble, I'd want to get down to the bottom of it too. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't something that got you in trouble, wouldn't you want to know? Like, the ins and outs and make sure, I don't know, like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with it. Tara? Oh, yeah, see, I thought it was Tara. Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about. Yeah.
So the difference is that is his belief. He has made.
Oh, I think this was this before or after his clip that got him banned for 5 days? Because I'm seeing right here it says Destiny. He didn't say women are sluts. That's a bit disingenuous. So like, I feel like this is afterwards. This is after. So I think he's just trying to figure out like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
That is his belief.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
Yeah,
he is
Tara does have
it is his
hair.
belief.
I don't know. Yeah, she does.
And that is racist.
Disingenuous.
It's not a question of whether that's racist or whether that comes off as racist. That is racist.
Sure.
What I'm arguing is what I said.
I'm hungry.
It was a small clip
I'm gonna
cut
order
out
something
to make me look sexist. So imagine I say something, along the lines of, I make a speech about, I hate people who steal things. I hate people who, come in your house, you welcome them, they steal things, blah, blah, blah. I had a American friend that came in and stole, like, fuck